It's the Argyle Armchair Show with Adam, Alina, Casey, Jackie, and Grace. But mostly Adam. Yay!
Oh, hello. I didn't even see you there. But now that I do see you, I have a riveting story to tell you. And that story is 1855. With all of its political, domestic, social, foreign, and economic importance, 1855 was a very exciting year. So let's get right to it. So, for all of you young men out there starting to shave, what brand of razor do you use? Well, I bet most of you will say Gillette. And what a coincidence. Gillette was first manufactured in 1855. So if you lived in 1855, your first shaving experience probably went something like this.
Ow!
Speaking of little boys, Penn State was instituted on February 22nd of this year. Back then, though, it was known as the Farmers High School of Pennsylvania. Unlike today, it was well known for being a degree-granting institution. And though you may think that they hired longtime football coach Joe Paterno later that same year, they did wait some time before doing that. Around this same time, nationality laws were changed to ensure citizenship to children born abroad to U.S. citizen parents. On April 21st, the first railroad train crossed the Mississippi River this year thanks to the first bridge constructed from Illinois to Iowa. In 1855, many strides were made in the field of invention. Isaac Singer patented the first sewing machine motor, George Audemars invented rayon, and the Bessemer process is patented as the first inexpensive process for the mass production of steel. Some very important babies were born in this very important year of 1855.
You're gonna do such wonderful things for future wage earners, aren't you? Oh, you little future governor. You're gonna be a little banker and a little industrialist and a little philanthropist. Yes, you are! Yes, you are!
Anyway, while there were many positive events in our country's history this year, there was also a good amount of violent and unfortunate occurrences as well, such as Bleeding Kansas. We're lucky enough to have some video footage of that. Due to the Kansas-Nebraska Act passed in 1854, abolitionist settlers in Kansas formed the Free State Forces led by John Brown and his sons. Outraged by the pro-slavery territorial government in Kansas, the Free State Forces wrote the Topeka Constitution, creating a second government in Kansas. In response to this, 1,500 border ruffians attacked, beginning the Wakarusa War. The Free State Forces ultimately proved to be successful when Kansas was admitted as a free state in 1861. You know what makes me smile? Politics. The year 1855 was a particularly exciting time for the nation in terms of politics, as President Franklin Pierce did absolutely nothing. And there was no vice president because the previous one, Vice President William R. King, died 45 days into his term as vice president from a nasty case of tuberculosis, making his the shortest term in U.S. history.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President of the United States, William R. King.
Now I can't do this in 1855.
The Know Nothing, or Native American Party, was also found in this year. This group was characterized by their hatred for all immigrants and anyone else who did not exemplify the qualities of the proper British American. When suspected individual was questioned about their involvement in the Know Nothing Party, they would frustratingly reply, "I know nothing."
Hey, what can you tell me about the Know Nothing Party?
I know nothing.
Hey, what makes the Know Nothing Party so unique?
I know nothing.
Hey, why do you keep saying that?
Go away.
1855 also exhibited a time of creative and innovative thinking in Congress. Congress gave $30,000 to create the United States Camel Corps, intended to be a project that used camels as pack animals, dreamt up by Jefferson Davis. The initiative failed miserably, for the horses reacted poorly to the camels. I suppose we just didn't get love drunk off of their humps. While 1855 was an exciting year in America, it was an even more exciting year in the rest of the world. In transportation, the Panama Railway finished its construction, finally connecting the Atlantic to the Pacific. The railroad is still functioning today, now called the Panama Canal Railway, since its role was crucial in the canal's construction from 1904 to 1914. In Russia, Tsar Alexander II came into power and initiated many reforms, ranging from education, government, and military. He was a pretty good guy, and freed about 20 million serfs from a life of misery and provided them with land. As a result of Alexander's judicial reforms, courts with juries were officially established in major towns modeled after French and German laws of the time.
Hey!
While Tsar Alexander II was succeeding in Russia, Lord Aberdeen was failing in England. Embarrassed by his mismanagement of the Crimean War, he was forced to resign on January 29th. Also in English news, the Great Gold Robbery occurred on May 15th. Aboard an English train headed for Paris, 3 boxes filled with solid gold were substituted for lead shot, and no one had noticed by the time it reached Paris. Among the accused were Edward Agar, his baby mama, Fanny Kay, with the help of railway employee William Pierce. For real, y'all? Give me my gold back. In more foreign news, in April, the short-lived Nepalese-Tibetan War began as a result of Nepal's desire to expand. Also on November 17th, famous explorer David Livingstone became the first European to see Victoria Falls in present-day Zambia, Zimbabwe. Way to go, David. We're all proud of you. Now let's get down to some economics, because, you know, economics is always relevant in the world. The gold rush in California was in full swing, bringing new capital to the United States. Railroads continued to expand westward, allowing farmers to move west and transport their goods throughout the nation. New free trade agreements with Canada allowed for the free American companies to expand and make companies more profitable. Foreign investments became increasingly popular, stimulating the economy, supplying more capital for the development of a nation. Plantations and slave labor continued to be the driving force behind the Southern economy, while Northern manufacturing, mining, and mechanic arts produced double the value of Southern cotton. Centuries before Lady Gaga was born that way and Adele's vocal cords exploded, Stephen Foster's "Come Where My Love Lies Dreaming" was a popular hit.
Come where my love lies dreaming, dreaming the happy...
Ford Madox Brown's painting titled "The Last of England" was another famous piece of this year, depicting a couple leaving England, embarking on a new life abroad. It illustrated a common event for thousands of European immigrants during this time. Now, I know that we Americans love our sports these days, whether it's baseball, tennis, or some Sunday night football, but we also seem to be losing touch with the old game of chess that was quite popular back in 1855. The Mechanics' Institute Chess Club, established in April of that same year, is the oldest chess club in America. It was based out of San Francisco, California, around the time of the gold rush. Oh baby, Grace, what you gonna do about that? What's good? Oh, you need it quiet, I see. That ain't gonna get it done, Grace. Ain't gonna work. Not one bit.
Checkmate! Whatever.
What's good, Grace? What's good? Drop that kid. Drop that kid. Drop that kid.
You like that, huh? Yeah!
Besides chess and the gold rush, transcendentalism was also popular with Americans in 1855. Famous transcendentalist writer Walt Whitman published his first edition, Leaves of Grass, in 1855. Although he was met with much opposition and was even fired from his job, he kept his guns and pushed forward with his beliefs, motivated by the support he did receive. Only if the boys of today could be half the men of Walt Whitman. Anywho, the play Pocahontas, or The Gentile Savage, debuted and became an instant hit. Unlike the Disney movie we all know and love today, this play parodied the story of Pocahontas and John Smith. In a nutshell, the storyline of this play revolved around the love triangle between Pocahontas John Smith and John Rolfe that was settled by a game of cards.
Do you have any sevens?
Nope, go fish. I win. All in all, 1855 was a relatively dull year. I mean, nothing really happened politically thanks to my boy Pierce, but I mean, some things happened socially. I mean, Bleeding Kansas. Other than that, the world could have progressed magnificently without 1855. Well, after a year like 1855, I mean, you just have to reflect on just life in general. I hope I was able to teach you a lot about 1855 and life in general. Tune in next year for our next year project, which might not even happen, but stay classy.